Hey guys, it's Mr. Conk again. There's this other video I wanted to share with you guys today. China's youth are reaching a breaking point by China Uncensored. Hopefully, it's a good one. Haven't seen it yet, but I want to share with you. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's get into it.
A serial animal killer ignites massive protests that have the CCP panicking. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. Massive protests broke out in China last week. In the megacity of Chongqing, ordinary citizens took to the streets with cameras out,
I don't blame them,
chanting things like "release them" regarding arrested protesters and police brutality, and singing the Chinese national anthem in protest. That's actually pretty common. The idea is you can't arrest a group of Chinese citizens for singing the Chinese national anthem, right? Well, the police, both in uniform and plainclothes, took to the streets with swift crackdowns, deploying black umbrellas to prevent filming and ordering citizens to stop recording.
Kind of interesting how the cops there are not uniform. They kind of blend in with the crowd, and then all of a sudden they'll turn on that crowd. Because they're not in uniform, they're like disguised.
Which, as you can see, totally worked, and no one in the world ever heard that any of this ever happened. The police also towed vehicles and made many arrests. Things got real heated real fast, with some citizens pushed onto the concrete, swarmed by police, and beaten during these protests. I wouldn't be surprised if Chinese police have a quota for beatings. Food delivery workers passing through the vicinity were also escorted out, leading to many hangry people wondering where their dumplings were at. How did all of this come about? What got so many people so agitated? Well, it all started on June 7th with this social media post. A netizen said that a man had adopted a litter of puppies rescued by his neighborhood friend, only to end up killing them. Yikes, is he Cruella de Vil's fiancé or something? Adopted a litter of puppies rescued by his neighborhood friend, only to end up killing them. Yikes, is he Cruella de Vil's fiancé or something? Jesus. That man turned out to be the infamous 39-year-old Li Meng, a delivery driver also known as Sam the Pac-Man. Not to be confused with Pac-Man, who doesn't have a history of cruelty to animals. At least I hope not. Sam the Pac-Man was locally known, going around adopting cats and dogs, sometimes doing so while posing as a girl online, only to end up killing them at home and filming it for profit.
Jesus Christ.
Telemarketing is not the most deplorable way to make a living.
Terrible.
Now, Sam has been reported to the police before, but they didn't outright arrest him or serve any animal cruelty charges because murdering innocent little puppies, the CCP sleeps. Being upset about murdering innocent little puppies, outrage. But the real reason is because there are no animal protection laws in China. After all, in the CCP's China, laws are only meant to protect the CCP. This enraged a lot of people. Animal protection volunteers were the first to go to Sam's residence to protest. And despite the police telling protesters that Sam was already under investigation and requesting that they put down their signs, protesters demanded that something be done to combat animal cruelty and push for legislation that would enshrine animal protection. Because even on the heavily censored Chinese internet, they also love kittens. Aiken has Bao. Of course, in a country like the CCP's China, where human life isn't treated with much value, especially if you're a Uyghur or a member of Falun Gong, the protests against Sam have got the CCP terrified.
They're terrified of protests, any type of protest.
Comprehensive criminal code handbook as a defense, along with a shield for some reason. Netizens reported that they were unable to look up Sam the Pac-Man on Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok, seeing instead no search results, no related content found.
I wonder why China doesn't have TikTok or Facebook or any of those things. Like Western media. I don't even think they don't have X, Facebook, Instagram. Kind of interesting why they don't have that. I wonder why. I probably know why. They don't want, because the algorithm for it is toxic. Like the TikTok one, at least. Not the other ones, but they don't want their Chinese citizens to know the truth. Because they would definitely riot if they had those social media apps available to them. See how much better the other world is, how much freedom they have. Yeah, anyway.
To be fair, I also wish he didn't exist. Netizens who were at the scene and wrote posts explaining what they saw also had their posts wiped from Chinese social media. But even
wow.
the term Chongqing itself was reportedly censored. I know China pretends Taiwan isn't a country, but I didn't realize they were also pretending their own cities don't exist. The problem is, in authoritarian regimes, you never know what's going to spark a major protest. As China expert Professor Victor Scher points out, the problem is that injustices multiply in various domains over time so that any one of these domains can become a serious flashpoint. And there's a very good reason the CCP has to be afraid of this protest in particular. It ties into so many of the red line issues threatening to tear China apart. China is in the midst of a demographic crisis. People just aren't having babies. But they are having pets. Pet ownership is surging as young people in China are choosing pets over parenthood. So yeah, they're not going to be okay with a pet killer. And part of the reason that so many people are buying pets instead of having kids is simply because it's unaffordable for young people in China to have kids. They can't find jobs. They can't find relationships, which is why over 100 million people have turned to live streaming to make money. In this ultra-competitive environment, people resort to increasingly extreme things to get clicks. Things like killing animals. Sam the Pac-Man is a grim reflection of the desperate struggle facing many of China's youth. Remember, he was a delivery driver first. That's basically the choice you have as a young person in China. Work as a delivery driver for next to no money, or live stream. Usually for no money, but there's a chance you could make it big. Like this woman who allegedly makes $18 million a week showing products for 3 seconds. Most aren't so
Holy
lucky.
shit.
And with no animal protection laws on the books,
Not even
well,
3 seconds.
you might try something shocking. Suddenly, Sam the Pac-Man is not the story of a lone sicko, but an everyman story of where anyone could find themselves in the desperate struggle to survive that's become modern China. If you want to learn more about what life is actually like in China under the CCP, you should join our special 50 Cent Army live stream coming this Saturday night. That's when Matt, Shelley,
You're not part of the 50 Cent Army? Please do so. These guys are amazing.
and I will be holding a special live event on our website. And yes, I understand the irony of talking about us live streaming in the context of this story. Anyways, it's this Saturday night starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. Join our live stream to talk directly to me, Shelley, and Matt. It's exclusively for my 50 Cent Army, those of you who truly support China Uncensored by helping keep us censorship-free and out of YouTube's clutches. So click this button or the link below to pre-register and save your seat. And get your questions ready because we'll be answering them live. I'll see you there. I'm Chris Chappell. See you soon.
I wonder why China is so horrified of the protests and stuff. Like they're afraid that it's gonna. I think the protest is gonna mutate into something else, and they're just is so many people in China that they get overwhelmed by, if there was like multiple protests, they'd lose control. Their single most important thing is maintaining control. That's why they're so afraid of protests and all that stuff. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show with you guys for this video. I might watch this one, actually. This looks kind of interesting. South Korea's election is imploding. I'll make a new video. I'll give a reaction to that one. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you haven't done so, if I've earned your subscription, please subscribe. It helps a ton. You have no idea how much it helps. Other than that, drop a like, leave a comment. That also helps too. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video, which will be a few minutes. Yeah. Yeah.